Wagwan people, my name is JJ.
It's Rae.
And you know what time it is. Right now, this is Cheqpoint, and we're doing our first gaming review and experience of literally
None other than Spider-Man Miles Morales.
This is Miles Morales, yeah. So we're gonna give our thoughts and what we think of the game, basically.
Yeah, we're gonna break it down into different sections: gameplay, story. We're gonna compare the performance and fidelity modes. See how it works with this thing, the beautiful DualSense,
the haptic feedback,
everything.
All of that stuff. So
let's get into this, man.
Starting off, yeah. What was your first impression when it came to playing the game? Like when it first switching it on, because as you can see right now, Raymo is playing it on Samsung Q80T, which was one of the TVs that came out that was saying that was one of the best TVs for gaming.
Next gen TV.
So it's a next gen TV. It's got that variable refresh rate, I believe.
Yeah.
So what was your first impression? You know, visually and even just feeling the DualSense, because I'm pretty sure that was the first game you played on the PS5.
Yeah, it actually was. My first impression, obviously coming off the back of playing Spider-Man PS4, I just wanted to compare how it felt, how it looked. It was a beautiful feeling going into the menu and seeing that I could switch between performance and fidelity mode. Fidelity looks beautiful, but I prefer to play in performance mode. Just that lock 60 is special.
See me, I would have to say I'm a bit opposite to that. Like, so in this game, and I think for most PS5 games currently right now, they've allowed you the option that what PC gamers get. We didn't get this in the beginning. So we're allowed to now change the game mode to fidelity, which will give you 4K at a lower frame rate, or you can play 60 frames per second at a higher frame rate with just a lower resolution. So me, I'm still used to playing in 30.
Yeah.
And I started noticing that when I started playing in 60, even though it was smooth, like I've watched it now on the TV, it does look smoother. It might be based on my TV also as well, but I feel like performance, it just didn't really grab me as much as fidelity. I feel like fidelity, I was still used to it. It still looked good and it still played good. And just the fact of graphically, visually playing a game that looks good for me.
I understand that. You share your own. Like I said, it's for me. I like combat. I like being able to move as swiftly as possible. I like my game to feel as smooth as butter, and that's literally what the performance mode does for me. That lock 60 is beautiful, man. It's just a different experience. Obviously, I played in the PS4 Pro, and you kind of had going up towards 60, but it wouldn't be locked, so it would be dipping and going back up again.
And forth, yeah, to the power.
So for it to be locked at it, it's a totally different experience. Literally.
I can imagine. So, so now we've got past those modes. Now, in terms of playing the game, what's your thoughts on playing the game itself? How does Miles Morales compare to playing the old Spider-Man? And also, how did it feel with the next gen game?
Like I said, the first thing I've done immediately was compared it to, even just from watching the trailer at the Sony showcase when they had their pre-order mishap. But watching their first gameplay trailer, I personally thought it looked next gen. Those were my initial thoughts, and then actually booting up the game and playing it, it looked and felt next gen to me personally.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
Just everything. Obviously, he's got a different set of powers from Miles has a different set of powers from Peter. So no spoilers, but you've seen it in the trailers anyway. Just the Venom. So just seeing that beautiful orange electric when you're doing your Venom moves and the Venom punch, your Venom jump, everything is. It's different.
I never read the comics though. I don't know where the Venom came from.
Me neither.
I don't know where.
But it's a good addition, I think.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised it was called Venom, but yeah, I mean.
The only one thing is, I'd say Venom almost makes him feel like playing this game. It's like Miles is in training. Obviously, Peter goes away, and Miles is the only Spider-Man in New York. But he's a younger Spider-Man at this moment, isn't he? He's Spider-Man Junior. So you'd think that the older Spider-Man will feel a bit more experienced, a bit more powerful. I'd say with the Venom, Miles feels like he's almost stronger than Peter.
In a way, it feels like he can do more. And I feel like in this game, they've given Miles more to work with. He's still in training, but by being in training, you discover more about him. You feel more entwined with the character, and I feel like you're able to grow with him. As with Peter, you're kind of starting already with a powerful, he's there.
Spider-Man PS4, Peter's like 8 years into being Spider-Man. He's experienced, so it's not like you're taking those baby steps. And I like what they've done with Miles, especially with the swinging mechanic, where he's like all over the place. Like he hasn't got a hang of it just yet.
Not yet, and you can feel, and you can even feel it in terms of like how he's talking, how he's responding, and he's got so much pressure on him. There's so many things happening. Even when I was playing the game, I know it's just a game, but I felt like by taking on so many different missions, I was putting the character through more than what he can handle. I mean, that's just what I got. I felt like I was so into the story.
He's only 17 at the time.
Yeah, he's not even at the legal age to drink yet in America. So, and he's swinging around fighting crime. That's what I mean. I find that very interesting. So, also now we've talked about our reviews on how we feel about the game, how the game plays itself. It really does feel next gen. It does feel next gen.
The haptic feedback. What do you think about it? Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so I was gonna say about the haptic feedback in the control pad. So when you're playing that was the first game I played. So that was the first impression I got of haptic feedback, and I felt like the fist bump that he does in the beginning of the trailer when he's walking up the stairs.
I actually didn't even notice that.
You didn't notice that?
No.
I felt that, like I was watching it. I was holding control of it, and I could feel the steps he was taking up the stairs. And then I felt the fist bump. I even felt him walking. I felt him turning. You can feel the weather. It's almost like you can feel the weather. Like you feel, if it's raining, if it's snowing. You
I'd
can feel that.
On my personal opinion of the haptics, especially after playing a game like Astro's Playroom, where they've really implemented they've pulled out all the bells and whistles for the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. Playing Spider-Man, Miles Morales, I thought that they'd put a bit more, especially when swinging your webs. I thought I'd feel like more tension in the triggers.
Yeah.
Fighting, I felt like I feel like every punch, everything. Not to say that I'm not grateful for whatever they have done, but I'm still happy with it. But I just thought I'd feel a little bit more.
Feel a little bit more into it.
Yeah.
Also, because I'm thinking for some people that might be watching this as well, like some people don't like the vibrations in the controller. I've actually heard of some people just turning it off. So the fact that they put haptic feedback in there, do you feel like it's overwhelming, or do you feel like it works?
I personally don't, because it gives me that next gen feel. Like I said, when we were at the beginning of the generation, so we don't know exactly every game that they're going to implement it into. Obviously, it's in COD, it's in other certain, but if we're talking about Miles Morales specifically, it definitely wasn't overwhelming.
Okay.
Because I even think they could have added more. Personally.
Yeah, they could have. I mean, and playing this game as well, again, we're talking about the different levels in the game, the different side missions. Like the side missions I personally love the most is basically the crime ones, where you see like just crime happening in the middle of the street. There'll be like a red dot that will pop up on the screen, and you just go there.
Did you use the app?
I use the app as well. I use the app a lot. I think that was kind of funny. It was kind of cool, and it kind of shows
it's modern.
It's modern, like, and it really. I like the fact that they played into the fact that these guys are young kids. Nowadays people use social media. They use apps. And using an app to fight crime, that's something Peter never did, because Peter was very old school, and he came from that old school era.
Well, I mean,
and he didn't need
PS4, he was hacking police scanners.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Nowadays he just finds
they've definitely modernized it. I'd say that.
But do you think that's also based on the fact that Miles is still in training? He hasn't learned how to hack scanners yet, or he hasn't learned
that's definitely you could definitely make a case for that. But I just feel like they've done their best to modernize it. I mean, he's 17, he's got a smartphone. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Use an app. That's what we would do now anyway. So. Yeah, man, for my impressions of the side missions, I mean, as we know, it's not a very long game. For how long it is, the content that they've put into it, for me, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I just love fighting on this game.
I love the fighting system. It kind of reminds me similar to how Batman is, because that was the only game I had similar to Spider-Man when I had an Xbox at the time. Now I'm so glad I've moved over. You know, using the combat, you're just pressing square. I think it's square to fight, and then you press circle to
Dodge.
counter and dodge.
Jump.
And then what I like as well is like the more you dodge, you know, you get your specials, you get your finishers.
Yeah.
And then you can
raise
use
your
those
combos.
finishers. Yeah.
I mean, that's actually an achievement. You can get 100 times combo for one of the trophies in the game. So,
jeez.
I've platinumed it.
You platinumed it and you reached 100 combos?
Yeah, I've done it.
Man, that's a lot of combos, you know. That's a lot of combos to not get hit.
It's it takes a lot of concentration.
That is a lot of concentration. And you got probably, and what level did you play that on? Easy? Because I know that there are different modes, or yeah.
I played it on Ultimate.
Oh shit.
Which is the highest level that
right
you
here, bro.
unlock once you complete the game, and then you get New Game Plus and everything. So just giving you more features of what the game has. What do you think of Miles as a character though?
I think Miles played his character really well. I feel
Voice
like
actor and everything.
the actor, you know, the actor and stuff.
Yeah, what do you think of the voice actor? Did he embody the character well, or?
Yeah, I feel like he did. I feel like it really played homage, and obviously they had a black actor playing him, so it worked with his voice. His style of clothing as well. They didn't try and make him look like something typical, but they also didn't go down the route of making him something that he wouldn't wear, what he wouldn't look like.
I think they've done a really good job of keeping it like cultural.
Cultural,
yeah. They've done a good job of it, and there was
did.
quite a few black characters in the game as well.
That's true, like his uncle.
So we feel
his
I feel represented. Playing.
Yeah, we do, and they also have a Black Lives Matter shout out as well in the game, which I feel like was relevant to the character of Miles. I didn't actually maybe because I didn't really pay much attention. I didn't realize he was half Spanish. I thought he was literally
the Morales kind of.
I mean, it does give it away like Miles Morales. Okay, it does make sense, but then if you think about it, his surname is Morales, but his dad is the
Davis,
is the black guy.
So he's got his mother's surname.
He's got his mother's surname. So that's how I was so surprised. But so in that case, I felt like they really represented black culture in that game best they could. I mean, they didn't overdo it, they didn't underdo it. Paid us homage, and I feel like the actor really did well.
Yeah, he done a good job.
Yeah, I mean, I also like the relationship he had with Finn.
Yeah.
I thought she was beautiful. I mean, the characters look beautiful. They look amazing.
Yeah, they do.
Like the level of detail, I looked at her face and I can probably see a real life character of Finn and be like, she looked really beautiful as a real life character. Looked like a really, really beautiful character. I feel like the characters, the level of detail to the characters were amazing.
They done a good job. Just everything, like her hair, her facial. Everything. They done a good job, man.
How you felt about Miles Morales as an actor?
As the voice actor, I think he done a good job. I think he done a good job embodying Miles. Obviously, he had quite a young voice himself, so it made me feel like I was playing a younger character. There was good little references. I don't know if you caught them, but even like when you're fighting and you're combating, it's like you want to catch his hands. Little things like that.
I got it. The lingo there.
Yeah. So, like I said, he just done things that what's the word I'm looking for?
That would relate to the character.
Yeah,
that would be relatable.
That would be relatable to like modern culture,
modern
sayings that we'd say,
modern black culture as
There's
well.
little things we caught, you know.
Last but not least, the last thing we wanted to talk about is just the story in general. So like the story is, Miles Morales is not as long. I believe it's roughly about 6 hours.
6 to 8.
6 to 8 hours, and I believe the
depending
previous
on how good you are at the game. I guess.
Yeah, depending on how good you are at the game. And also how you, if you skip the cutscenes or if you just run through the game, or if you do all the side missions as well. But I think the story itself is about 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Compared to the last story, which was probably a bit longer.
A whole lot long, man. About 30 hours, 20, 30 hours. I mean, I played through the game twice. I played through it. My first playthrough, I took my time, watched all the cutscenes and everything. Then I was obviously platinum trophy hunting, and one of the trophies is you need to complete the game on New Game Plus as well. So I've done that. My second playthrough, I'll be honest, I skipped all the cutscenes. I just wanted to get straight through it, because that was the last trophy I needed to get my platinum.
And how long did that take?
I've done it in a day, like literally.
So it can be done in like 24 hours?
Started in the morning, I was finished by maybe 5.
Raw,
5, 6.
That's
so about
quick.
6-7 hours.
I thought you were gonna say like midnight or something, or like 1 a.m.
I was finished by like 6-7. So yeah, I just literally ran through it.
Just ran through the game.
Any scene I could skip, I skipped, and got it done.
Yeah. I mean, the story for me, the story is good.
That's what I was gonna say. For what it is,
the story is good.
Even for it being a short story, it's a good little. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to really spoil anything, but I feel like it's a good story.
It's a good story.
It shows family. It shows friendship. It shows Miles' growth as a character, and not just as a character, as a hero.
Yeah. And you also get to see the relationship he has with the other characters in there. You know, the story he has with Genki, Finn, his mom, his uncle plays a vital role in this as well. His mom also plays a vital role in this. Genki and Finn. I think everyone has their role in the game. I feel like they all play their role.
The villain, I won't reveal who the villain is, but the villain's got a good role in Miles' life as well. So.
Yeah, really does like that. That's a big one to check out. Overall, what would you rate the game? Should we do it by percentage or should we do it by
out of 10? Let's do it
out of 10. So out of 10, I would give this game 8 out of 10, and the 2 points I'm deducting is mainly because the story is a bit short. Story is a bit short, so I took 1 point off. And the last thing is the fact that they weren't able to keep the fidelity and the performance mode together.
I don't think you can blame it on the game.
Nah, I think I'm not on the game, but I feel like for me to enjoy the game fully, and you know, to get that full experience, I would have liked a 4K 60.
You can't know the difference.
I know, I can't, but I would have been able to, you know, be able to say, you know what? What would you say is your overall?
My score, I'm around the same place as you, and that's why 8 out of 10. I'm probably taking off a point because of the length of the story as well. But for me, it's not that much of a big thing because some games are good at that length.
True.
You know, you get fatigued with certain games, but I definitely would have liked to play this game a lot more because I really enjoyed it. So I take off a point because of that, and just because nothing can ever be perfect, you know. But yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a good game. Maybe I can push it to a 9 out of 10. I'll be honest. Obviously,
I can go to 8.5.
With the Game Awards coming up, obviously, if this game had come out earlier and it was in contention for Game of the Year, my personal Game of the Year is Ghost of Tsushima. If this was in contention for Game of the Year against Ghost of Tsushima, I'd probably still give it to Ghost, literally just because of the length. But other than that, how much I enjoy playing Miles. If Miles was a full-length game, I wouldn't know what to choose between the two. So I'm hovering between an 8 and a 9. I'm gonna stick at 8, just to not be biased. But that's me.
Yeah, I think so we're sticking at 8. That's for us, 8 out of 10. So guys, thank you for watching our review. This is our first Cheqpoint review of Miles Morales. We gave the game an 8 out of 10. So make sure you click that like, subscribe button, and make sure you tune in. There'll be a lot more reviews coming. We have loads of other games to play. You know what other games we got? We got Demon Souls, we got AC Valhalla. I'll give you an Astro's Playroom review. Whatever you want to see, let us know. Let us know in the comments down below, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Like my guy said, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know whenever we upload. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Yeah, guys, there'll be more reviews coming. They'll get better. Let us know what you want us to talk about, what you want us to review, and keep supporting the channel. Don't sleep on us, guys. Cheqpoint, checking out. Peace.